Shalom. This is the brother Karatazar coming to you with another lesson. And the title of today's lesson is E Gets Judged. And with that said, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for I learn this truth. Much respect to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you few brothers and sisters watching this video. Now I'm going to let you watch this video, and I'm going to break out into some script. And Lord willing, you find this edifying. I'm not going to talk too much because I'm feeling a little under the weather. So just bear with me.
He was the boyfriend who swept Zanea Barney off her feet.
You said he almost seemed like the dream guy.
Yeah, still like a wonderland with him.
She says 27-year-old Daniel Drayton was a handsome, charismatic conversationalist she met on a dating app.
Like, we talked so much. We had so much in common. You know, he seemed like a real good guy.
She had no idea her life was in danger.
You never wake up one day and be like, my boyfriend that I'm dating is going to try to kill me.
The man she thought she was falling for, allegedly stalking her, threatening her,
I kidnapped that
and her son,
for anything.
nearly choking her to death. Now we're learning Daniel Drayton is also a suspected murderer and rapist, accused of killing 29-year-old nurse Samantha Stewart last month and luring a number of women he met on dating sites into a string of heinous assaults. Zanea says Drayton first contacted her on the app Plenty of Fish in November of last year.
Kidnapped that
And her son,
for anything.
nearly choking her to death. Now we're learning Daniel Drayton is also a suspected murderer and rapist, accused of killing 29-year-old nurse Samantha Stewart last month and luring a number of women he met on dating sites into a string of heinous assaults. Zanea says Drayton first contacted her on the app Plenty of Fish in November of last year. She says she wasn't even looking for love.
He hit me up for like 2 days straight, didn't pay it any mind. Then I finally replied. And from there, like, our conversations went like every day.
They struck up a fast friendship. It quickly turned to romance.
He wanted a lot in life and he had goals. No red flags, nothing to complain about. It was a delight to talk to him at that time.
How often did you guys see each other?
Every day. It was not a day we didn't see each other.
They dated 6 months. Drayton even met her young son. Zanea asked us not to show him.
The perfect guy. That's how it's, pretended to be.
But alarm bells went off when she saw another woman calling Drayton's phone. Zanea picked up.
And I was just like, oh, how did you meet him? She said, oh, through the app. I said, Plenty of Fish. She said, yes. And I was like, okay, but did he, mention to you, he has a girlfriend? She was like, oh, no, he didn't mention that at all. And I just told him to get out my car. And that was how things started going left from that point on.
She says she broke it off, but he persisted, pleading to get her back, even trying to contact her on social media using multiple aliases.
And how did things start to spiral?
Every day he'll keep hitting me up. Like, he'll wait outside my house to the point he'll sleep outside my house, spend the night, or up watching my window.
When did you start realizing that there might be a threat to you?
The night he waited outside my house, I don't know the particular day, but it was in June.
She says he started throwing rocks at her window, at one point sneaking inside.
And then that's when he placed a ladder clean through my window because I wouldn't let him in my house.
Another night, Barney says she filmed Drayton waiting out front. She claims she began to receive chilling texts and calls like this one, threatening to harm her son.
I kidnapped that
That's what you gonna do?
for anything. Run to my grave, man.
You gonna do what?
I called you the squats, but you want to talk sideways up your
You say you gonna do what to my son?
man.
You say you gonna...
Your family. I warned you today. I said, yo, sit next to me real quick, and I'm gonna squash your face. You didn't text me to pick up my car, man. It's the game, man. It's not a movie, man.
That's when I knew, he has to go.
On June 13th, things escalated.
The day started off with him blowing my phone up as usual. He just kept calling me. So I was just like, let me just answer. So he was like, oh, can we link up? I just want to talk to you. I'm about to go to California for a job.
She reluctantly agreed to see him off. They met for lunch. He didn't eat, but he asked if she could drop him at a nearby park.
I come into the park. I'm driving like this. I actually pull up exactly right here. That's when he proceeded to sit here and say, are we still going to be together? Are we still going to be back together? And I said no.
She says he refused to get out of the car.
And that's when he just looked at me in the car and then jumped across, had both of his knees on top of my knees while my seatbelt was still on. And he got two of his hands stuck, his whole thumb in my throat. And that's why I still have the mark to this day.
At some point, did you think this is it?
When he was choking me, I can't even describe the feeling. That's when I kept feeling like this is it. I just kept thinking about my son. Like I have to live for my son. I have to get out.
In the very spot where it happened, she shows us how she narrowly escaped.
So I couldn't breathe, and at that moment, I had no choice but to just use my door and open it. And I got out, and I got out, fell like this on the floor. And as I looked up, I seen 3 men come out the parking lot.
3 workers, seeing her in distress, rushed to help.
They asked me where I was all right. They was trying to save me from him. He viciously came around the car trying to attack me again. He kept saying he was going to kill me.
The men call police, but Drayton takes off.
If those 3 men didn't appear, I wouldn't be here.
Days later, Drayton was arrested and eventually charged with trespassing and strangulation. But a Nassau County judge later granting his release. Turns out, Drayton had already served 4 years in a Connecticut prison on multiple charges, including second-degree strangulation, unlawful restraint, and violating a restraining order. The Nassau County Court telling ABC News there was no way the judge could have known. The judge didn't know there was an out-of-state criminal history. Weeks after his release, that New York nurse, Samantha Stewart, is found dead in her home. Another 23-year-old woman raped. Police uncover both had gone on a date with Drayton.
The common denominator in these 2 cases, one being a murder, one being a rape, is dating websites.
How concerned were you when you found out that he had been released after that incident with you?
I was scared. I found out he was released that Wednesday when they pronounced that he may have murdered that young lady. I was so scared. I'm like, what can a mother do to protect her son?
The hunt leads investigators all the way to California.
2 independent investigations, as they progressed, led our detectives to one and the same individual. That individual was tracked across the country.
A fugitive task force and Los Angeles police eventually tracking him down in North Hollywood, arresting him last week in a hotel where they say he had raped and attempted to kill a woman he was holding hostage. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. Drayton allegedly told investigators he had committed as many as 7 murders. Authorities now investigating.
At this point in time, any comments that he's made to us about his participation in other crimes has not been verified yet, but there is a lot of work to do.
In an interview with the New York Daily News, Drayton speaking out from behind bars, admitting he did choke Zanea, calling himself a, quote, good person, but saying that voices in his head make him do these things. Drayton went on to claim he was hoping to get caught because he didn't want anyone else to get hurt. But Zanea says that man she once fell for should not be underestimated.
No, I would literally believe that he would kill, with his eyes, everything he did to me. I believe that he's capable of anything.
You feel guilt?
I felt guilty in the beginning because I kept feeling like, how can I not see the signs?
Zanea now says she's swearing off all those dating apps for good.
Has this changed your outlook on those online dating apps?
Completely. I deleted every single one.
Los Angeles detective Trent Thurber investigates criminals using online dating to prey on their victims.
Online dating makes it a lot easier to trick somebody.
Thurber's advice when dating online, take things slow and do your research.
Checking the internet, there's a lot of information out there. Background checks are always good if you're willing to go the extra mile.
Experts say you can reverse image search your date to see where else their photo pops up. And trust your gut if something feels off.
Our instinct maybe needs to come into play. If you get one of those nervous feelings, maybe that's the time to cut it off and move on.
For Zanea, her harrowing experience has forced painful reflection and conviction to share her story as a warning for others.
Do you feel lucky to have survived?
I feel highly blessed, and I thank God every day about it because
I relive it every day, you know. It just doesn't go away.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that video, all right? And something that stuck out in the video was that she mentioned that, Salakia, she mentioned in the video that she wasn't even looking for a relationship. So if you go on an online dating site and you're not looking for a relationship, what are you looking for? You looking for a hookup. You trying to smash. And that's exactly what these women are out here on these online dating apps. And the officer even said it in the interview. He said one thing these women have all in common is online dating apps. All right, so you have all these women that's going on these dating apps. All right, and they're gonna be judged because they showing off their bodies. They talking to these men. All right, and you just trying to get random hookups. That's not wise. And these women are out here, and they getting judged. The Most High is judging them. Because they feel like they could just go out and have random hookups, and they can just, do whatever. And I'm gonna get into some scripts in a minute, and that's not the case. All right. So let's get into it. This is Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. So as you can see in the video, in the interview, the guy, he said that he wanted to be caught. And she said that she saw something inside of him, like, and then, a near-death experience will make you turn spiritual real quick. And as you can see, she's having a hard time coping with that. And that's what's going to happen. Possibly even worse to you women out there, who are of the world. If you watching this video or you come across this video, you women out there that are of the world who don't know what's coming up, what's about to come. It's going to be judgment. That's what's coming, judgment. So there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which is through who? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. He created these spirits. So there's no wonder why this man did that. Because you want to go out and you want to be, loosey-goosey, and you want to sleep with whoever you want, and then, you find out this man got somebody else on his side, and then you want to just bounce. So the Most High say, you know what, that's enough. You think you could just, jump from man to man? All right, teach you a lesson. That's judgment right there. And that's why that happened to this young lady, is because she think that she could do whatever she want, and you can't. Which lay in their fury sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, and then let's go to Ecclesiasticus 26:25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. So this woman, she has no shame. All right, she has no shame at all. She's openly telling, how she's just going on social media, on these dating apps, just looking for a hookup. You know what I'm saying? Just to smash, like, oh, I just want to smash dudes. Like, you just want to get penetrated. You jumping on the car carousel, you monkey branching. You know what I'm saying? You just jumping from rod to rod. All right? And the sisters in the truth, y'all know better. So I'm not really talking to y'all. I'm talking to, any sisters that come across this channel who are new into the truth and who are just getting into the truth. Yeah. So this is what's going to happen. Once you come into the truth, ain't no jumping around from rod to rod. Who you sleep with is your husband. So you better pick right. You better pick damn good. All right. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Salakia. And she did shamefaced will fear the Lord. So she shamefaced now. She fear the Lord now. Lord willing, the Most High put the Spirit on her. She fear him now. But before, she didn't fear him. She didn't fear the wrath that the Most High that would have on her for sleeping around. She didn't fear that. And there's gonna be a lot of women out here who's gonna feel that fear. And it may be worse. And this is Proverbs 30:20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. All right. So this woman, you see this woman sitting here and she crying and she boo-hooing. She showing all them tears, them crocodile tears. But in actuality, she was the one jumping on a cock carousel. So she was the one going out here being an adulterous woman, being a woman of the world, going around sleeping, monkey branching, sleeping on cock, rod to rod. All right. And that's wickedness. All right. And she don't see the shame in what she was doing. She only see what the man was doing. And he got his judgment too. He got judged. But see, that's how the Most High work. It's a 2-for-1 deal. All right. So he judged one and judged the other at the same time. So that was both of their judgment. All right. So she don't see the shame that she did, the wickedness that she did. She wasn't shamefaced. And that's why she faced the judgment. And this is Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So, the Most High, most likely he didn't want to kill her, or he's saving her for something else down the road. Who knows? But the Most High, he wanted to straighten her up. He wanted to straighten her out because she was, who knows? Who knows where her life is going to go, or, she's going to face another judgment down the road. But that's all up to the Heavenly Father. But the Most High, he did that because she was walking around. She was going on social media and she was, riding on the cock carousel, and she shouldn't have been doing that. All right. And there's no one who can save you from the Heavenly Father. If he wants you to be judged, he wants you to be put to death, he'll put you to death. If he don't, he don't. All right. So Lord willing, you brothers and sisters have found this lesson edifying. Shalom to the next one.